Hey everybody, happy Thursday out there in TV land, and thanks for spending your time here with us on Northern Life. Last night, I had something interesting happen to me.
Sure.
Me and my lovely and beautiful girlfriend Kayla were sitting together on the couch, and she just randomly brings up, have you heard of these otters that are like 6 feet long and they live in the Amazon? And she starts telling me these stories about these otters that are as tall as humans.
Really?
And they kill alligators in the Amazon. All I know is the little cute otters at the zoo or at my lake or whatever, and she's telling about this huge 6-foot otters that literally eat alligators. They gang up on alligators and kill them in the Amazon. And I was like, I can't believe an otter would ever do that. And let alone...
They're so sweet.
They're so sweet and so cute. I guess they eat fish normally, but yeah, these giant 6-foot tall, taller than some humans out there.
Almost like prehistoric.
Yes!
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
New fear unlocked, I guess.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Especially during dinner. Save it for after dinner. But that does remind me of on Twitter, or X rather, there's a debate going on where who would win in a fight, 100 men or one gorilla? if they were in a cage together.
It's got to be the gorilla.
Right?
Yeah, there's no chance 100 men. A gorilla could do one swipe and they'd all be done.
And people are saying, if you had the right game plan, it might work, but others were saying like the first 20 men would line up and run at the gorilla and they'd all be taken down, and the next 80 would probably lose a lot of faith in their mind.
Yes. Start running the other way, trying to get out of the cage instead of fighting a
So
giant
maybe
gorilla.
Don't run into an Amazon otter or a gorilla anytime
There we go.
soon.
That's your advice for the day, folks.
Yeah.
Go see your friendly otters over at the Great Lakes Aquarium.
There we go.
Better idea.
Yep.
Well, it's a big day here in Duluth. That's because it's Pancake Day. The Duluth Lions Club is serving up pancakes, sausages, and beverages today over at the deck. Tickets are $10, and there's free parking too. All of the net proceeds from that event help the Lions Club provide health services and youth activities here in the Northland. So if you want to get in on that fun, it's going on right now and runs until 7:30 tonight. So you can have pancakes for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can go 3 times.
It's dangerous because it's so close to our station here. You can it's with walking distance, burn off some of the calories. Whew.
They probably don't have re-entry, but that'd be a huge one if they had a re-entry to the event. Be like, I'll probably be back 5 times later today.
Didn't I see you at 7:30 this morning?
You did. And at 7:30 at night. Also today, how about this? Culver's hosting its 11th annual Scoops of Thanks Day. So guests out there can enjoy a single scoop of fresh frozen custard in exchange for a $1 donation to benefit agricultural education organizations out there. Happening again this year, Culver's be serving up the How Now Brown Cow flavor for that event. The event has raised more than $6.5 million for agricultural education here in the U.S.
I'm upset because I didn't know there was a first run of How Now Brown Cow, and that sounds delicious. I imagine it's maybe like got some sort of chocolate brownie.
Ooh,
situation.
chocolate milk too.
Perhaps some steak in there somewhere?
Oh.
Just some cheese curds too. Yeah.
Tasty Angus custard flavor. Delicious. Well, hey, coming up on today's show, we're sitting down with the folks from New Hope for Families here in Duluth and the Sweetly Kismet Candy Store down in Carlton, Minnesota. That is because they are teaming up for a foster care drive that is happening this entire month of May. We'll be talking about how you can help during this Foster Care Awareness Month.
Yeah, then later we're visiting the Great Lakes Academy of Fine Art. We'll introduce you to one of the founders of the Academy, how he brought a beautiful space back to life, and how excited he is to host this weekend's student instructor exhibition as well. So looking forward to that chat.
Super excited. Let's get to a few viewer comments here today. But before we do, our executive producer, Ben Reed, put together a sweet new graphic for us showing you how to get in touch with us here on Northern Life. Take a look at this thing.
Cool.
You can always reach us out on here on our text line at 218-900-3830, or you can send us your photos, videos, and comments. I believe you can even call us on there if you want to, and leave a message. Story ideas as well. So.
Well, I will say, call us during work hours because I do get the alerts on my phone, and sometimes it'll be about 7 p.m. when I'm making dinner, and I'll see a call, and I'll be like, oh, it's on the text line. Okay. Like, I'm not trying to ignore you out there, but if you do leave a voicemail, we do hear those messages afterwards.
Yes. So do that, please.
But please call us. I'm not saying don't call us.
No,
but maybe 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. would be the best
Ryan
time.
wakes up at 1 a.m. Just wanted to talk about those river otters that I'm so scared about. I got some new information.
If you have any photos of those otters, send them our way. We'll talk about it. Let's get to one from our viewer, Sabrina, who sent me an email the other day after talking about my ant problem I got in my bathroom. She said, "Hi, Ryan. I haven't tried this yet, but I heard that mint is a deterrent for all kinds of pests in the household, whether it's ants, spiders, mice. I don't know if your bathroom is on an outside wall because guess what, Sabrina? It actually is on an outside wall. So maybe planting some mint outside of it would be helpful, she said. And she also said, good luck. Hope you'll be rid of those visitors soon. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, my bathroom is on an outside wall to our building. So I have to go around the side and see what's going on out there.
For some reason, I just envisioned you putting down a bunch of mints like on the floor in your bathroom.
You get
That's what I was
one?
thinking too. Like,
You get
yeah.
one? I'll have to visit the local dentist's office around town, grab some mints, and start laying them on the side of the building. Yeah, I did have a deer visitor last night too, outside of our patio window. That's very
fun.
cute. Yeah.
Was he like looking in your window?
They're taking advantage of the grass outside.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of spooked him. I was like knocking on the glass.
Oh.
Get off my yard. Yeah.
Well, next we had Elise send us a Facebook message. She included this photo of an Amazon product online saying she's possibly found the solution for Hunter's Tupperware problem, joking that he could use these disposable containers instead. So just throwing out bags, throwing out containers under his plastic water bottles.
I love this. I love this idea, but it doesn't look as big as my gallon bag that I usually
Ziploc
use.
bag, yeah.
I'm a big man. I like a lot of food, so let's get the bigger containers here.
You're putting sloppy joes in those? Is that what we said yesterday?
Sloppy
Oh my
Joes or a tater tot hot dish or whatever can go in there.
We were also talking about compromise here on the show. So maybe if you have ideas out there as to, for the maybe you've been in a marriage for decades and decades, maybe
Sure.
send us your marriage advice out there.
Oh, there we go. Well, that should be a question we pose on the Facebook page, perhaps.
I would like that a lot, yeah.
Compromises that help relationships last as long as they can.
It's an important thing to make it sure relationships last. It sure is,
Yes, it's supporting one another's dreams out there.
Yep,
So
amen.
send them to us on our new text line. Coming up after the break, a month-long event is coming up for a great cause down in Carlton, Minnesota. We'll talk about this month's foster care drive next. Welcome back, everybody. For the month of May, you have the chance to support our Northland foster families by providing important resources to those raising wonderful children out there. And here with us to talk about this month's foster care drive is Therese Gruba with New Hopes for Families and Ashley Parrott, who is the co-owner of the Sweetly Kismet Candy Store, which is a wonderful store in Carlton, Minnesota. First of all, thank you both for being here. Lovely to have you for such an important cause. Also, the month of May, I hear Foster Adoption Awareness Month, which is also incredibly important. And Therese, let's start with you. New Hope for Families, what is it all about? It sounds like you guys provide support for foster families out there, and you also drive others to become foster families.
Right. That's 7 years ago, we decided to try to come alongside our hardworking social service workers and see what we could do to support their efforts to find homes for the foster children in St. Louis County. And so now we're 7 years into it. We are a local faith-based nonprofit, and we were gifted with the old St. Anthony's Church School about 7 years ago, which houses, it's a 7-bedroom home and a beautiful community center for all of our activities for foster families.
Wonderful.
And like you said, foster, adoptive, and kinship families.
Wonderful. And Ashley, a big drive this month, the entire month of May over at Sweetly Kismet.
Yeah.
You guys will be hosting a drive where people can drop off diapers, new car seats. Why was it important to you to be able to host this drive over at Sweetly Kismet?
Well, we see a lot of families of all varying sizes and ages, and it got my husband and I thinking that, we see, and just even individuals in general on a regular basis, and that we could really capture their attention coming to the store, and really being that it's Awareness Month, that we could educate the public about foster care, knowing how big of a shortage that we have of homes right now, and that we need good foster care homes.
It's incredibly important. I mean, it has to be so beneficial for you both to come together with two wonderful groups to come together and do something that is so rewarding and gives back to our Northland communities.
Right. The biggest part of what we do is to seek to recruit more foster families and then work to support those that are involved in fostering so that they have the support that they need, and then that builds longevity into the whole community. And so since May of 2019, we have built from just a couple families that were interested. Now we have right around 90 who call themselves part of New Hope for Families, and Ashley and her family are part of that community they foster. So,
what do you hear from the parents too, maybe the ones that become foster parents for the first time? What is that experience like for them?
yeah, they need support.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing foster care for about a year and a half now, and every placement is different. And you can even ask my 3 kids. We have 3 biological kids, and I mean, there's definitely the hard parts about it too. But
Sure.
we love having extra kids in the home, and just kids that we can shower with our unconditional love.
Right. Good for both sides in a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the drive is coming up all month of May
Yep.
from 11 a.m. to 7 a.m. over at Sweetly Kismet in Carlton, Minnesota. What should people be stopping by with? Diapers and car seats are the specific needs right now?
Diapers and car seats are really our biggest need. We also have an Amazon wish list, and so that will have specific like strollers, any type of other items for those kiddos that we're looking for.
And part of what we do at New Hope for Families is because we have this beautiful community center that was an old church school, we have room enough for a kids closet.
Oh, wow.
And so we provide for the families in need, any families in need, really, not just fostering families, but families who are working to be reunited with their children and starting over and need beds, need clothing for these kids. So we have a full shopping area in our building. And so everything that we are donated during this month will end up at New Hope for Families, and then we're giving all of those items out to our families as they need them.
That's great. And Therese, also, we were talking about how important of a month this is for foster families out there. You actually have a foster care interest meeting that is coming up in the month of May. What are the stories that you hear from the longtime foster parents out there, or maybe the new foster families?
What are the stories, did you say?
Stories, experiences, or what have they learned?
We often hear now, if it weren't for the support that they're getting through their relationships with other fostering families, they probably wouldn't have kept going. And so the support that is just building amongst the families and the children that we serve, because we host things like coffee play dates, trainings right at New Hope for Families. Not to mention, we have a wonderful relationship with our social workers, and just that has been truly remarkable, how we can come alongside them and support the hard work that they're doing to provide for these kids, because there really aren't enough homes.
Right.
And so our goal, our vision, is to one day have more homes than there are children who need them.
Well said. Therese Gruba, Ashley Parrott, thank you both for being here. We'll have more information about this month's drive in Carlton, Minnesota on our website at northernnewsnow.com.
Welcome back, folks. Here in Duluth, there's a hidden gem creating incredible artwork throughout impressive training.
Yeah, this weekend, the Great Lakes Academy of Fine Arts is getting ready for their annual Student and Instructor Show, getting the chance to show off all the hard work they've accomplished together.
I got to meet one of the founders of the Academy who's making beautiful art in a historic building.
We're really not so much an art school in the sense that I feel everybody's got art inside of them. So we teach people the craft and how do you draw, how do you paint. And then we figure then they'll have the ability for the music to flow, if you want to look at it that way. The idea of passing on the craftsmanship at the highest levels is what's been going through this training. The training itself was almost lost worldwide back in the first half of the 20th century, just modernism, they didn't care about that, and it literally almost died out. And so there was just a few individuals that had the abilities that passed it on to the next generation, which I was fortunate to be a part of. And so I guess now we're just helping to move it along. So I'd say when I was a student, there was maybe 7 schools like this left in the world, and now there's probably 20, 25. We have a full-time 4-year program. The school is full at 16 students. I only accept 4 or 5 at the most a year, just so we can really pour into them. And then we have a full course of evening classes and weekend classes for people who just want to come and learn some of this. You don't have to have ever painted before. We start at the beginning like everybody. My son went through the same training at the same school I did. We had opportunities to teach somewhere else around the world, and we decided, let's just do it ourselves. And so we were looking for a building, and someone mentioned, what about old St. Peter's, which the diocese, I think, had wanted to close it down. They'd cut the power, turn off the electricity and the water and that. And I happened to just walk on and thought, it's got perfect light, tall ceilings, at the right size, 2 floors. It's what I need. I just bought it. And then it was 18 months of ripping it back to the, really to the stone walls and rebuilding it to what we wanted. But it turned into exactly what I was hoping for. It'll be our 9th annual Student Instructor Show. We put up all the work. We display it in a way where you can kind of see the process of how these students have learned. And we have 2 students graduating this year, so it's a good event. We got food trucks. It's a lot of fun. To see the work that these young people come up with after 4 years and now they're launched into their careers, it's really satisfying. It's wonderful. No, come and check us out. If you have any interest at all in learning how to get better at making art, I think you'd be really happy to come and check this place out and just see how you can go from wherever you're at quite quickly, dramatically improve your skills.
A big thanks to Jeff for letting us stop by. So one of his students actually emailed me and told me this event was going on, and I go, I've never been to the Great Lakes Academy of Fine Art.
Yeah.
And I mean, you walk in there and there is just some incredible artwork. As you saw, even like the figure skates on that portrait that was created,
Right.
It looks real.
Oh, the
Yeah.
buzzsaw, yeah, that's insane.
And they also have this image too that they created as a group where it's all of them in this piece of art, looking at something, but it's not even based on a photo. It's just based on, what they created in their minds and how they would look in a room together. It's pretty remarkable.
That is wild. I couldn't get over how realistic his humans looked in his and paintings as well. It just incredible, because when I try, it's like a stick figure. It's so bad. So for someone to take it to that level is just beyond me. I'm so amazed.
Incredible. Yeah. Hey, that annual Student Instructor Show is happening tomorrow night from 5 to 9 p.m. as well as Saturday from 12 to 5 at the Old St. Peter's Church, which I got to ring the bell, by the way, which was super cool. We're told it's always well attended. There's live music and food from vendors. Should be a fantastic couple of days there to take in some beautiful work. Once again, big thanks to Jeff for letting us be there.
Absolutely. Well, we have a beautiful sign of spring to share when we come back.
Welcome back, folks. Coming up tomorrow here on Northern Life, NBC is getting ready to air the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby coming up on Saturday at Churchill Downs. Before the big race, of course, we're going to take a look at how the crews keep the track in perfect shape, come rain or shine. We've got a crew of folks downstairs, I believe, that have been to this a couple of times here.
Really?
Gotten to bet on a couple of horses. Some, behind-the-scenes folks that go down and visit a former
that's right.
meteorologist, Alex Libby, that used to work here. So, yeah, pretty cool event.
Did you guys see that one of the horses this year, one of the favorites, I think, is named Journalism?
Nice.
No way.
I know.
Nice.
I got to put my money on that one.
Double down on
Pretty
that
cool.
one.
First Amendment, also a pretty cool name for a horse.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah.
So cool. My all-time favorite, I think, was Smarty Jones.
Nice.
That's a good.
Way back when, yeah, throwback. Before we go today, a wonderful viewer photo we have to share from Dawn here. She sent us a really cool moment saying Lake Ely is open and the swans are here. She says, love watching you three. Thank you guys for the smiles. Thank you for the smiles, Dawn, and for this photo. It's fantastic.
Swans are so
Look at them
cool.
go.
I don't know if I've ever seen swans in the Northland. So
Really?
Yeah, big thanks to Don for sending that in.
Oh, they're so
I only see
sweet.
deer.
Sure.
All I see is deer and ants.
Ants,
And ants.
You see ants as well. Maybe deer like mints. I don't know. Thanks for joining us today. We love you.
Yeah, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Thursday.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.